I have 5 assumptions that Gen X have that will make them financially dependent on the government or on the system. Welcome to your daily dose of sick financial advice. I'm Irene. And I'll tell you this, the reason I do this is not to preach, but it's things that I've wanted to say on video that I might seem a little aggressive. However, it's my ability to give back with things that I've discovered working in the financial industry for over 25 years. So today is your daily dose of realistic financial advice. Stay tuned. So I have 5 assumptions that the Generation X have that will make them forever reliant on the government. And 5 assumptions that I hope that if you even have one of them, that you do something about it. Now, the first assumption they have is that they think that they're going to be magically debt-free by the time they retire, whatever age that is. Some people have actually already relented to the fact that they're always going to keep working because they're just not going to have enough money to pay off the things that they have, like their house, like the cars they own, like all the debts they've accumulated. But what if I told you that it's okay to have that assumption, but you need to have a plan so that you can match that assumption with reality? And so first, let's come back to why do you feel like you're naturally or magically going to be debt-free by the time you retire? Because your bank gave you a specific number of years, for instance, a specific number of years to pay off the biggest debt you're ever going to have, which is your mortgage, right? And you've done the math and you said, okay, yeah, I guess 25 years, 30 years is before I retire. But what if you can pay off all your debts way before then? Wouldn't that give you more time to put money away for a very comfortable retirement, or maybe even possibly retire sooner? What if you actually knew to the day when you're going to be retired and debt free, or just even debt free? And what do you have for debt? I mean, I realize that the mortgage is the biggest debt you're ever going to have, which is probably what you have. But what about your car loan or your RV loan or all those credit cards and the lines of credits you have? I mean, those are debts too, and those are payments that are leaving your bank account just because. What if you knew that you can be debt-free way before retirement? In fact, to the date when you could be 100% debt-free. That would give you peace of mind, wouldn't it? So that's assumption number one that the Generation X have about finances in general that will keep them relying on the system. The second assumption is that they're just naturally going to be ready at 65. We pick 65 because that's the date that you can retire, right? But there's a lot of people that are working well past the age of 65. Maybe because they feel like they want to, right? They just can't see themselves doing anything else. But there are a lot of people that just can't afford to retire yet, okay? Because they do have payments. Well, what if you didn't assume you'd be ready and you actually made sure that you were ready to retire at 65? And what does retirement look like? I mean, retirement between 65 and maybe 75 is not going to be the same retirement between 75 and 85 or 85 and 100. Would you agree? So what you want to take care of is making sure that you have a clear goal and vision of what that retirement is supposed to look like for you. The third assumption I think people make that's going to keep them 100% reliant on the system is that they think they have a pension that will be enough to retire. Now, it's interesting because in my line of work, I ask a lot of questions that you might not even think that you would have the answer for. One of the questions is what do you have for pension at work? And a lot of the time I hear things like, I have a great pension. So I challenge people more by asking, so what does that look like? How much is it? And most of the time, they have no idea. They have no idea. They don't even know where to find their pension statement. They're like, I think I've seen one of those before. Like, well, yeah, I hope so. If you have a pension, you should be getting a pension statement every. But a lot of people just kind of file that away, which is great. It's fine. You should be filing that away. But who says I have a great pension but really knows nothing? And what is a great? Some people think that they have a great pension because they work for a big company, or they work for government, or they work for the school system. You know, teachers get paid really well. They have a great pension. Working for the healthcare system, they get paid really well. Government, government pensions aren't what they used to be. Pensions in general are not what they used to be. In fact, if you don't know the difference between the two types of pensions that employers offer, then you should really check out future videos, because I will go into depth about how they work. Nonetheless, though, if you don't know what your pension at work it looks like, or even if you have one, how do you know you're going to have enough at retirement? And that brings me to my fourth assumption, which is very, very related, is that the government will take care of them. Meaning what? The government doesn't have a vault full of money that magically will take care of you and having you keep your lifestyle the way you've been living it. Think about it that way too. We all have lifestyles that we've been accustomed to. And for anyone to think that the government or the system or their employer is going to help you maintain that once you've stopped working, that's a very, very big assumption. The government's not going to save you any more later than they are right now. And if you don't even know what your Canada pension plan is, which most people don't, and I would encourage you to check out future videos about how the Canada pension plan really works and what it is. How do you know? How do you know you're going to have enough money? Because if you think about it, if you're in your late 50s and you haven't saved anything on your own, and you have these assumptions that you have a great employee pension and the government's going to give you something, I really think to the logic of how that works. And they're going to help you maintain the lifestyle you've been living right now. So take care of yourself, folks. And the last one may not apply to everybody, but the last assumption people have is that their kids are going to take care of them. Because, of course, you're taking care of your parents, right? You have all the money in the world to take care of your parents. Why would your kids know any more about finances than you? And when you know for a fact they don't learn it in school, and anything they're getting is from social media, TikTok, from their friends, from the media, why would you assume that they it figured out? Because anything that you're teaching them about money management, finances, is what they're internalizing, which is rely on everyone else. So guess what? Your kids are going to need you later on. If you're still alive, they're going to rely on you because you've taught them how to. Because you didn't take the reins of your own finances to take care of yourself. Because you have these assumptions and it's not your fault, but now it's your responsibility to figure it out. So there you have it, folks. You can't unsee this video, but I hope you do something about it. I got you all. And you know what? If you're feeling a little overwhelmed with your finances at this point, there's a link below that you can click on that will allow me to be able to help answer any questions you have. We can have a short chat about where you're at right now. And at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt, especially if you're not paying for it. Just a free consultation about what your questions and anxieties might be. If there's an opportunity for me to help you, I would love to. So feel free to click on the link, book yourself in, let's chat. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with other people, guys. And we'll stay tuned for the next video that you can't unsee.